Hello, in this video I am going to show you how you can create multiple partitions on a USB drive on the Windows operating system using diskpart command. So you can start diskpart using the command prompt. So you can start first the command prompt by typing cmd, or you can simply type diskpart and run it as an administrator. So once you will run this diskpart as an administrator, you will see a diskpart window, and here you can create one or multiple partitions on a USB drive. So let's see how many devices are attached, or the memory devices are attached to this system. So on this Windows Explorer, I can see that there is only one drive of 465 GB, and I can also check that using the diskpart by using the command list disk. So it can show that there is only one disk available and attached to the system of 465 GB. So let me attach a USB drive to the system. So now you can see a USB drive is attached and its size is about 3.74 gigabyte. I can also check that here by using the same command list disk, and now I can see that there are two disks attached to the system memory devices. So one is the internal hard drive and another one is the external hard drive, which is a USB drive, and that is named as disk 1. So now I need to select the USB drive by specifying disk 1. So select disk 1. So now the USB drive is selected. The next step is to clean data or all the information available on the USB drive by using a clean command. So it will delete everything from the USB drive. Once it is clean, next step is to see that how many partitions are there. So you can use the list partition command to see is there any partition on the USB drive or no. So now you can see that there are no partition on this disk to show. So it means there is currently no partition on the USB drive. So to create a partition, I can use create partition primary command to create partition on the USB drive. So this is an important command in a sense that if I don't specify size here, so it will create a partition of entirely available unallocated space, which is in this case 3840 MB, 3840 MB. So let's try to do that first without specifying the size. So here I haven't specified the size, so it has created a partition, and I can check the partition by using the list partition command. So I can see that there is now one partition of primary and its size is 3839 MB. The next step is to specify the format, file system format for that, and I can do that by using format fs command. So here I want to specify NTFS file system and use a quick format option. So once the format is completed, you will see that the USB drive with the letter D and the size, and now it is ready for use. But I want to create multiple partition on there, so again I will select disk 1, which is a USB disk, and I will clean that disk. When I will clean it, so let me check is there any partition on that by using the list partition command. So I can see that there is no partition now. So I created one partition, and by using clean command everything has gone. Now I need to create partitions on that. So let me use the same command like create partition primary, but this time I will be using the size option. So here I am specifying a size of 1500 MB. So our partition will be created with a size of 1500, and I can verify that by using the list partition command. So I can see that there is one partition now and its size is 1500 MB. I can create another partition using the same create partition primary, and let's say its size is 500. So it will create another partition for me, and I can verify that by using the list partition command, and now there are two partitions on the USB drive. One is 1500 MB size and another one is 500 MB. I can also create third partition, and let me use only the create partition primary size without specifying the size. So it will create a partition with all available unallocated space. So when I will do that, it will create a third partition, and I can see the size of the third partition by issuing the list partition command, and I can see now there are three partitions on the USB drive: 1500 MB, 500 MB, and 1839 MB size. The next step is to assign the file system to each partitions, and I can do that by using this each partition, like select partition 1 and then use format fs command to specify the file system to each partition. So let me give ndfs to the first one. So now you can see that NTFS file system is assigned to the first partition, and here the first partition is now shown here on the Windows Explorer, and its size is about 1.44 gigabytes, the first partition size, and a letter D is assigned to that one. The next, I can do the same for the second partition, and let me use FAT32 file systems for the second partition. And now let me select the third partition and use NTFS for the third partition. Okay, so now I can use the list command to see how many partitions are there. So as you can see that there are three partitions, but on the Windows Explorer I can see only one partition. The reason is there is no letter assigned to the other two partitions, like partition 2 and partition 3. To make those partitions visible, I need to assign letters to them. So I can do that by selecting each partition and assign a letter to that. So let's say select partition 2 and then assign letter, let's say E, to that partition. So now you can see that partition E is now visible to us, and its size is 500 MB. Same I can do for the partition 3, and I can assign a letter F, let's say. So now the third partition is also visible, and its size is about 1839 MB, which is about 1.79 GB. And you can see in the properties the file system type that it is NTFS file system. This one is FAT32 file system, and the third partition was NTFS. So we have two NTFS based file system partitions and one FAT32 based file system partition available on our USB drive. So in this way you can create multiple partitions on a USB drive of any size. Thank you for watching this demo.